Welcome back, gents and ladyfolk everywhere. Come back to Cartoon Conversations, your daily dose, or weekly, I guess, of fantastic and intrinsic cartoon conversations. Well, that's the title right there, of the Justice League Unlimited, where we talk about everything, which way and which what and whatever, about all the super stupid, fantastic stuff that they do. With your hosts, Elliot Katch and Jordan Stein.
Hi.
Beautiful, beautiful.
My voice is particularly entrancing tonight.
Oh, don't talk, Jordan. You're making me swoon.
So, our big question today is, how do people justify things to themselves?
Yeah.
We have a lot of people making rash decisions, and we're going to just try and get in their head and see how they justify things to themselves.
Yeah, this is the finisher of the two-parter episode. What was the first one? Question Authority, and the second one being Flashpoint.
Yep.
This is the finalization of what happens after Captain Atom goes against the Justice League, and particularly Superman himself. What can we see will happen in the end, and how do we see each and every superpower express themselves and how they act and think? Each one having a very interesting modus operandi, in all honesty. I said big words right there.
Yep.
Each one says, something very specific and a bit very emotionally driven. God, Superman was crazy in this episode. He was taking shit from no one.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he made some mistakes, let's just say.
He made some mistakes. He made some oops.
Yeah.
And some no-nos.
And we have another episode written by Dwayne McDuffie, actually. Which is pretty crazy.
It's pretty crazy.
It's
crazy.
He's on a streak right now. He hit his stride, he's writing it, and I feel like he's a better writer. I don't know. I think he's turning out, consistently really good episodes right now.
Yeah.
Whereas when we started, he was up and down.
Up and down.
His first episodes, the Once and Future Things, Part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
There were some really good high points, like Batman meeting future Batman.
Batman meeting future Batman.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne. Right. I totally, my brain just farted.
But there were some lows in that episode that weren't so great, too. So.
Like what?
I'd have to go back to listen to my podcast to remember exactly what I didn't like, but I remember there were holes in the plot, and...
Oh, God. We're starting off great. Starting off strong here.
I don't know. I remember there being holes. But these scripts are reasonably tight. They're tight enough that I'm willing to look past any errors they make. So, you ready for the breakdown, Elliot?
Yes.
Okay.
It's your turn, good sir.
So we start with, is this our first last time on...
Yeah.
No, I think, wasn't there one on the Once and Future thing?
I don't think so.
It certainly wasn't this long, and it certainly didn't, if there was, it certainly didn't, take the whole cold open.
It sure certainly didn't.
Because we do last time, and then we go straight into credits, which this show has never done. We've never gone straight to credits. So we start straight in the action. Superman and Captain Atom confront each other. Captain Atom has orders and can't let them leave. He uses red sun radiation, which I thought was really cool.
Right. That was absolutely fantastic what he did right there.
Although, if he can do any type of radiation, why not kryptonite?
I don't think that's a radiation type. I think it was just him talking about...
I always thought kryptonite was radiation.
Kryptonite is just a particular stone that might give off a certain energy. I don't think it was specifically, jonesing for, what do you call it? Crap. It wasn't like...
It wasn't radioactive,
being fed off of kryptonite. That and the fact that,
Well, it's green and it glows, so I always thought it was radioactive.
I don't know. That and the fact that I don't believe Captain Atom would be made of... They would, superficially pump kryptonite into him.
I don't think they pumped it up. He said, I can make any type of radiation. So I think maybe they could have solved this little plot hole by saying, I learned how to make red sun radiation. But, once again, this is a very minor plot hole, and I'm just kind of willing to overlook it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, like, they don't explain what kryptonite and how it affects Superman. It just hurts him. So I feel like they're not going to put two and two together and say that one is the thing. You know, it doesn't really make that much sense. I would just accept it as it is. He can make red sun radiation. We know red sun radiation hurts Superman, and we're accepting that.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the scene in Superman Red Sun, which might be my favorite comic book.
What scene, Jordan?
Where Soviet Batman fights Superman, and it's really awesome.
Soviet Batman.
Soviet Batman is so freaking cool.
Excuse me.
He's awesome.
Soviet Batman.
Yeah.
Wait, don't you mean the one? Isn't that the one where Superman lands in Russia?
Yeah, he lands in a collective farm in the Ukraine instead of in Smallville, Kansas.
So you mean Soviet Superman?
Well, both Batman and Superman are Soviet.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, crap. I didn't even know that.
So they have a Soviet Batman who appears towards the end and almost defeats Superman. But Wonder Woman sacrifices her lasso and it's implied her sanity.
How does that work out?
Not well.
I can imagine.
So, and it's implied her sanity to stop Soviet Batman. And then she eventually defeats him and destroys the red sun generators.
She.
So, and saving Superman, but she never forgives Superman for it. It's a really good comic. Everybody should read it, and there's a fantastic motion comic of it on YouTube.
Oh, right. I remember you showing me that. It was crazy.
The Lex Luthor voice actor is so good. He gets I think they should hire this guy to play actual Luthor, because he gets across, I'm smarter than you, and I don't give two shits about your opinion, so well. Which I love that take on Luthor. It's a less evil Luthor, and more of a Superman is a problem. I've never met a problem I couldn't solve, Luthor.
Right.
And it's just awesome. Like, one of my favorite lines in comics is Lex Luthor's evil plan. Step 1, he doubles the U.S. economy.
Right.
Step 2, he doubles the U.S. economy, then doubles it again. But like all of his plans, step 1 was only the beginning. I was like, can we do step 1 again? I kind of missed it.
Huh?
I just wanted to raise my hand and go, hey, can we do step 1 again?
Yeah. I really enjoy all this surplus. It's pretty tits.
Yeah. So it was like in 6 months he doubled it, and then in 3 months he did it again.
I really enjoy all of this, this utopia prosperity. But, this is only step 1, so, don't worry about it. We've got more. It's going
Jimmy
on.
Olsen is his running mate.
Right.
It's kind of awesome.
It's crazy.
Everything about that is awesome. I should rewatch it.
Yes. So, back to the episode.
Yes, I'm sorry.
How dare you?
So this is a really fantastic fight scene. They don't do what they usually do and kind of develop the characters through it so much, but shit, it's just really good action.
Shit, man.
It's just... Sometimes you just see fantastic animation and you just want to sit and watch it.
Yeah. And
that's how I feel about this fight scene, that...
I mean, in all honesty, just like watching them go back and forth was nuts. I loved every moment of them just like slamming each other through the walls and bashing. And when Captain Atom was slamming his head against him.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was nuts.
So.
That was crazy. I loved that moment. It was funny. I kept imagining like a bell, like dong, dong, dong.
Yeah. So, in the beginning, they fight surprisingly evenly. But that can only last so long. While they fight, Huntress gets questioned out. There's actually a cool point where she sees a gigantic amount of stairs, and the question's like, I'll never make it up.
Oh,
and so
right,
she just uses a grappling hook and gets to the top. I thought that was like a really just it shows that she's a smart hero.
Well, yeah.
I thought it was cool.
I like the fact that they were standing there in front of the doorway, and he's like, yeah, she starts, complaining, how am I supposed to get past this? And Superman rips Captain Atom, and he just, like, slams him through the door, breaking it, and like, well, that's convenient, Right on
she's
time.
totally not fazed by the fact that if he'd been, like, 2 meters to the right,
oh, yeah.
she would have been a pancake.
She would have been pretty much Jell-O pudding.
Yeah.
Nothingness.
So she does that, and then that's about the point where the fight turns. And Captain Atom he held on a little bit at the beginning when he had Surprise on his side, but after that he couldn't handle Superman. I mean, who could?
Huh?
So his containment suit starts cracking, and Superman doesn't want to kill him. But Captain Atom won't give up. It speaks well of him that he fought that hard against an opponent he must have known he couldn't beat.
I don't know, he was trying really hard. Maybe he thought he could bring him down at least, with the help of all the other people in the area. That's another thing, Like, why is he doing this? What's the purpose? He literally there's nothing to gain from this.
What they gain is the question.
What?
What they gain is the question.
What do you mean is the question? Oh, like
if he holds off Superman long enough, maybe they bring a military squad in and capture Huntress in the question.
Oh, that's what you mean.
I think the plan is not.
Well, I was.
Is not for him to defeat Superman. It's for him to hold off Superman.
Yeah, but what does he gain from this? Is what I'm saying. What does Captain Atom gain?
Following orders.
But that's awful.
Not really.
Yes, it is.
I think you can make a legitimate case that at this point Cadmus is still a good guy.
I would disagree completely. But, I mean, that's besides the point.
Especially if you hid 1 or 2 pieces from Captain Atom, you could see why he's loyal. The foot soldiers are incredibly loyal to Cadmus. And there's not enough places in the world to hide all the people they would have to kidnap to find that loyalty.
Listen, every bad guy has henchmen that all clearly understand that what they're doing is wrong.
But this isn't henchmen. This is
trained
military operatives.
You don't know that.
They're clearly U.S. military.
We don't know what every single one of the mindsets of these people are. All we see is just a bunch of people going in trying to shoot up, shoot up Superman, and clearly that's not going to work. I mean, look at that one guy who was torturing the shit out of the question. You think he's loyal to Cadmus?
I think.
Or is he
one of the Cadmus directors?
He's loyal to Cadmus because he's a dick, and because he knows Cadmus is also kind of a dick.
I would say Cadmus is an alliance of people, and they include a lot of good people, and because they're facing a collection of superheroes, they had to include some sketchy characters. Because what other choice did they have? Because they needed power.
I don't
protect
believe
the
that.
world.
I don't agree with that.
I thought they made reasonable choices. If you're in Waller's shoes and you've got to oppose Superman, your only choice of ally really is Lex Luthor.
They're doing Lex Luthor because he's so powerful, and because, they have the same ideologies. It's not like they have to do Lex Luthor. They have to do Lex Luthor because he is the best, and they want the best.
Yeah.
So they're going for Lex Luthor. It's not like, that's what comes with him being evil, and they're totally signing on board for that.
Look.
Okay with all that shit.
Look, there's reason to believe that Luthor repented.
That Luthor repented.
Repented his evil deeds.
I would disagree. I mean,
especially since, here, consider that. I mean, Luthor comes to you and says, yeah, I mean, I never really wanted the money or anything. I wanted to kill Superman. And they're like, well, we want to kill Superman too. Why don't you do it legally? And he's like, well, yeah, I'm pretty okay with that. I'm already really rich. I don't need to steal money.
Do it legally.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, so you want me to do exactly what I was doing, except now for the government? Sure.
I don't know.
I feel like you could make a case that Luthor...
Huh?
That they were using Luthor not the other way around.
No, I would disagree in that because
Here's the thing.
We know how it ends. Union.
We know how it ends. We know that Luther outplays.
We know how that ends, yes, clearly. But we also see a lot in terms of what was going on with what do you call it? How she was calling to him. She was working to him. They were first partners. They were clinking glasses together and all that. And she was absolutely, she's calling. What are you going to do? How are you going to make this work? And what can I do to help you? And she was pretty much working for Luther right there.
There was only really that one scene where that happened.
But I mean, like those are the only scenes we have.
Yeah, but
all the scenes of them being together is like her acting towards working for Luther, following Luther's plans.
Nah, we only have 2 scenes of them together at this point. And in one of them, we both criticized it. We said we didn't like how a Waller came out as subservient.
Well, I don't like it.
But in the first one, they were equals.
I don't like it because I want Amanda Waller to be a badass, which she kind of is in this, where she talks directly to the president. I like that.
We regained her badass. I mean, we already knew she has a direct line to the president.
Right.
Because of the Doomsday episode, where Batman calls that line. And she picks up the phone and goes, "Hello, Mr. President."
Hello, Mr. President.
Which, by the way, Superman at one... We'll talk about that later.
What?
That's something for later in the episode.
Oh, okay.
Alright. So, Superman knocks him down, and then finally, Captain Atom stays down. With cracks in his containment suit and his health.
I wanted to point out as when we clearly saw that Superman was winning, very much. He had what was it? He had Captain Atom tied up. Pretty much, Captain Atom was just slamming in walls, doing nothing, and they start playing the saddest music.
It was sad.
Oh my god, it was really sad. It was pathetic.
Yeah, I mean, you felt bad for Captain Atom.
Oh yeah,
a man stuck between two duties.
Yeah, you said duties.
Ground like a millstone.
But that was the point, in a way.
Sorry, ground by 2 millstones, I should say.
2 millstones. All the millstones. 30 millstones. But I mean, it's sad because they start to think, this is what he's chosen, and he's very clearly wrong.
He's not very clearly wrong.
Oh, he's so clearly
wrong. There
are
very many legitimate reasons for him to support the government.
Oh, there's so clearly none. He supported the government. He went like a fucking switch. It was immediate.
You saw clear regret that he had to go up against Superman.
I don't. I mean, they saw him. We saw him thinking about it for a bit. We see him being told that this is the case, and that's pretty much it. And then he comes in and says, this is what I'm doing. He clearly went at Superman with intention to kill. He was going hard in the paint. He wanted this.
He clearly wasn't going for intention to kill. He told Superman about the red sun radiation.
He didn't
attack him right away.
He told Superman about the red sun radiation so we would understand why he was being hurt. That's the only reason why he told him that. That's exposition from the director's standpoint.
Okay, it still comes out of the mouth of Captain Atom?
Comes out of the mouth of Captain Atom because he's saying, remember, this is what I do. I can do this. I can beat you up.
If we didn't want to make Captain Atom more sympathetic, we could have had it come out of Superman or Huntress's mouth. Or the Question, for that matter.
I don't know. I don't think so. Having Captain Atom say it would be the quickest way because he's directly in the scene. He knows exactly what he's talking about. This is him.
I think you could have gone just as easy had Superman say, "I hate red sun radiation."
I don't think so.
Or had the Question say, Cadmus trained him to use red sun radiation to harm you.
No. Because that's way too... That takes on a whole dimension of its own. There's a lot more to that now than there ever had to be. Having him just say, I can use red sun radiation, and I'm going to use it to kill you was simple and effective. It worked perfectly. Just having him state his business.
I disagree. I think it was...
If one of the other people said it, if the Huntress said it, it wouldn't have made sense. If Superman had said it, it would have been very out of character, in all honesty.
I don't think it would have been out of character. I think it would have been in character for him to say something.
I disagree. I don't think it would have been having him be like, oh right, Red Lantern, red power,
sun radiation,
red sun that. Who gives a shit? I disagree. I mean, I feel like if what he did or what he was doing,
it's also about the way he says it too. That he doesn't say it like, "Blah ha ha, I'm using red sun radiation."
He says it like,
"I can make all sorts of radiation,
That's
Superman.
not his
Don't
character.
make me use this."
He's telling Superman that he's a threat. He's still a good guy, so he's like prepping Superman, saying, "Come at me, or I'm gonna kill you," because he's still trying to kill him. Like, we can clearly see this is the case, that he's absolutely trying to murder him.
Well, sometimes in the course of duty, you're required to hurt people you love. Like in the story of Julius Caesar, when Brutus kills his good friend and father figure, Julius Caesar.
I disagree in that as well, because you don't have to kill Julius Caesar. They did nothing.
You 100% had to kill Julius Caesar. Brutus is the hero.
I would disagree with that completely. And
Brutus was motivated by love of country, and he put it in front of his own selfish desire to stand by his friend and mentor, Julius Caesar.
Yes, right, of course.
And potential father.
All right.
It's possible Julius Caesar was his father.
We're not getting into your goddamn love affair of Brutus.
He restored republicanism, I guess. Okay.
We're doing this.
Sorry.
Yes.
That might be the new weirdest tangent we've gone on. So, they go back to the Watchtower. Everyone's on the mend. We get another scene, which I love it. Just a call back to the first episode with Captain Atom being resurrected, I guess.
Well, no, they're
his containment suit's being fixed.
Yeah, they're trying to fix him because he was absolutely just butt fucked by Superman.
Yeah. So he's being fixed, and then we have Supergirl standing in front of it again, just like in the first episode, which was nice. It was a good callback. So now we go to the question, and the question gets medical attention. But before he's doing that, he wants Huntress to see his real face. So she sprays him with a special spray and takes off his mask and...
See the real me.
He's a redhead.
Yeah. Well, we sort of knew that before.
I don't know. I just thought it was kind of cute, the moment they had together. So I wanted to talk about it. It doesn't really advance the plot, but it's a nice little relationship moment.
Yeah.
That it's a strength of the series that they get to do those. That they take the time out. I don't know. So...
I guess so. I like the fact that after, what's her name? Supergirl was just staring at him.
Yeah.
And it was just so sullen, and then she comes by and just turns out the light. It's like, I don't want to see any of you heroes.
Yeah.
I liked that. I was very impressed.
So then Superman tells Supergirl about shutting down the Cadmus base, and they're both just furious about Dr. Hamilton. They really trusted him. This is a betrayal to them of the highest order.
Oh my god, yeah. Superman was enraged.
Yeah.
Oh shit. He is absolutely having none of it.
So, yeah. There have been better times at Casa Watchtower.
Casa Watchtower. For the Man of Steel and his little cousin of not as hard steel. a cousin of
I mean, I think the canon is that Supergirl's eventually going to be stronger than Superman.
Oh yeah, that's actually one of the plot points is that Supergirl has the potential to become stronger than Superman,
Yeah.
which is kind of interesting if you think about it.
Which makes me wonder who would win in a fight between Galatea and Superman. But we never get that fight.
Well, I'm sure it would be Superman because, well, the obvious. But
well, she's like fully mature. Like Supergirl's still not full grown.
she's not. She's fully matured, but like to the point where she's also a clone, and to the fact that this isn't like. I don't know.
Superman definitely has the combat experience.
I don't know. I would just say,
but Galatea closes that gap a lot more than Supergirl. Like I think most people would agree that Superman would beat Supergirl.
Yeah.
Because she's just not experienced, she's not fully grown. But Galatea is fully grown.
I don't know. I would just say something totally different about that. Because of what Superman is, you know. I mean, like, once again, we're talking about Superman. And Galatea is a clone. She's fully grown, but she's unstable in that sense. She's man-made. I don't think she's not right proper, man.
Okay. So we cut to Superman and Supergirl on the main deck. Right. They ask Martian Manhunter for permission to take Cadmus.
Oh my god!
And Martian Manhunter just shuts him down.
Yeah,
it's kind of brilliant.
Well, I mean, one of my favorite parts is the fact that he says, you know, you already know the answer to that question. You know, if you wouldn't have asked me otherwise. And pretty much what he says is like, no, I'm still asking you because I'm saying I want to do it. So it's like he's trying to put order in that sense. He's trying to make it so that this is a real thing, and it's terrifying, and I love it.
Yeah. I love that voice actor who plays him, Carl Lumbly, is really good.
Lumley.
Yeah, Lumley is a funny name. But he's pretty consistently really good.
Pretty consistently.
Yeah, I mean, you see, there's a couple other roles. I'm looking at his Wikipedia page, and I'm like, these are all good acting roles.
I mean, everything that was just happening right here in this situation, with every party coming back and forth, you know, superhero and whatever, we're human, I guess. We're gonna go with Green Arrow. Was fantastic. What we had in this scene was a lot of character development, a lot of talking out, you know, of people explaining the situation in a way that was almost scary. He was going against Superman, and Superman was mad. I think this is the first person that doesn't like come out of talking to one of the superpowers without getting, you know, like catching their breath or whatever.
But what you
I love what he says after that, you know. When Superman says, Supergirl, God, I'm losing my mind here, talks about whether the government should have tracks on the superheroes, and he says, like, I don't know, yes, maybe, because he really doesn't know. He can't give like an affirmative, you know, yes yet.
I think this discussion is really the heart of the episode. I think you're right. That Green Arrow speech is really
right.
Is really the heart of the debate.
Yeah, how he views the superheroes and how he's afraid of them.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
I love it. And let me tell you guys, you scare me.
Yeah. How brutally honest. That was some A+ acting right there.
And he gives this just fantastic line. I love it. I don't know, look, I'm an old lefty. The government must do for people what they can't do for themselves. And the people sure can't protect themselves from the likes of us.
I'm an old lefty.
Or something very similar to that. And that's fantastic. Because one, that is the basic purpose of government.
Right.
Said brilliantly in a place you would never expect a great political philosophy to be.
Right.
And the other thing that's fantastic about it is that it's a great point, and it fits perfectly. Unlike Flash's Gandhi quote.
Yeah. I was really, really hoping that He would have said that it was Gandhi and not.
It
not
would have
just,
been better.
Grandma fucking Flash.
Yeah. Granny
Give him a little
Flash
bit
used to
more,
say,
man.
an eye for an eye and the world goes blind.
Right.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Gandhi said that.
Yeah.
Was he not a big enough name for you to quote?
Right.
Was he surpassed by Granny Flash?
Well,
You know that that superhero of great renown?
it's
Oh my... Wait,
it's
wait.
more of finding out what he would say, discovering what would the Flash say. Thinking, like if the Flash would say something silly, even though he's saying something profound.
Yeah.
So having him quote Gandhi might have been a bit too much for him. Too much for the big guy.
I don't know. I feel like
The
Gandhi
speaker.
quotes are pretty acceptable in most situations.
Gandhi quotes. Just gonna drop down some Gandhi quotes on you, real quick.
I mean, that's something people do.
just stroll up and drop some Gandhi.
I mean, they have them on there, like, they have
I'm gonna drop
the
some
bumper
Gandhi on you.
stickers, and they have the...
That in Jamaican, I don't know.
And they have the stickers and the notebooks, and they put
Bumpers.
Gandhi quotes on everything.
Yes, they do.
It's kind of disgustingly commercial. I feel like Gandhi would be very angry about it.
You mean disgustingly commercial?
Look, there's
it's-
probably some things that shouldn't be
They did the same
commercialized.
thing with Martin Luther King.
And Gandhi is one of them.
I don't.
Martin
think
Luther
Gandhi
King
would
is
be-
also one of them.
I don't think Gandhi would be upset. I think he would actually be very pleased.
I
I think he would be very happy at the fact that we are shouting his.
I don't think so, especially since so many of the quotes attributed to him popularly, he in fact did not say.
What do you mean?
Like, be the change you want to be you want to see in the world.
Oh, right, I know that one.
Not a Gandhi quote.
Oh, who said that?
No one, ever.
No one. What do you mean?
They
no
just put
one?
it on a bumper sticker and tossed Gandhi's name on it.
Oh.
There was an article in the Times about it a couple years ago. Never said that.
I want to go look that up, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he, like, said a couple things that you could, like, rearrange.
Rearrange.
That, like, kind of hit the spirit of that.
Kind of.
but-
mean that.
Certainly not the way it is used, of, like, as a way to get out of doing actual progress. You just say,
Wait.
I'm improving myself.
No.
That
that's
is totally how
not, that's
people
not
use
what
that quote.
Means. No,
They're
that
like,
is not what that
I
means at all.
recycled. That's
No,
my environmental.
No. You are totally taking that in the completely wrong way.
Okay, that is
Be the
100% how people
Be
use
the
that
change
quote.
that you want to be in the world means you have to start the revolution. It means that you have to take action and start acting out. It doesn't mean you say, like, you understand there's a problem and you complain about it and wait for someone else to fix it. It means you have to start. You have to be the one that says, I'm mad as hell and I'm not taking this anymore.
Now
You have to do
that is pretty similar to stuff Gandhi has said.
Which is exactly
Be the
why they
change
would
you
put
want to
Gandhi's
see in the
face on
world.
it. Which is exactly
is-
why they would put Gandhi's face on it, because that was the revolution.
No,
He wanted you to start revolution.
no. Be the change you want to see in the world is what it
It
means.
is not about starting to recycle. That is not what
People
it's about.
use it as an excuse to not make hard decisions.
People
and
may
instead,
use it, but that's not what it means.
But how people perceive it is what it means.
No, it's not.
Yes, yes, it is.
Just because you okay, listen. Just because I tell you to go and do something, doesn't mean if you interpret it in the wrong way, that's what it means. If I tell you to go do something and then you go and kill a person and you say that it was because I told you to do so, that's completely wrong.
No. I mean, it depends on what you said. If
I
you
know,
said
I don't think
something that could be interpreted as you
I don't
asking me to kill somebody,
It's not
yeah,
depends
you will
on what I said,
probably
no.
be put up on second-degree murder charges.
Just because I tell you to do something doesn't mean you have to go out and do it. Just because I say, hey, Jordan, go and kill someone, doesn't mean that I have the right to be blamed for you going off to murder someone. That just means that you have absolutely... Like, this is the same thing with video games and violent movies.
I think those two are very different.
No. Here, let me explain. It's because it says that, violent video games and violent movies make people commit violent things. And the way I see it is if I tell you to go and do something, like the way that violent video games is inspiring violence, if I'm inspiring violence in you by telling you to go kill someone, I have absolutely. There's no reason that you should have to go out and do so.
But that's not how human psychology works.
But there's still
people are social animals. They're influenced by others. That's not absolute individualism is an illusion at best.
Yes.
And it's actively harmful at worst.
What?
The illusion of the individual. We are not, I mean, look. We exist as people, but our identities are formed by our interactions with other people. We can't...
Yes, but we are also accountable for our own actions.
We are. But the people around us are also accountable for our actions.
People around us are also
those who
our actions. But here's the thing. It also will be determined as to if you're capable of identifying the proper way to act in society, or if you are so easily influenced by your surroundings that you can't tell the difference between right and wrong. I don't think you're a legitimate human being to begin with.
Then any person who's ever been involved in a riot should be prosecuted?
Yes.
I mean, that's not how... How should I put this? That's not how riots work. Riots work by the first person throws a brick and then it slow rolls, and even respectable citizens get caught up in it because of these herd instincts we have. It's a natural human thing.
If you don't have the ability to judge the situation and you still...
But you can't judge the situation because you're...
You can't judge the situation. There is a giant group of people throwing sticks and stones and lighting fires.
Yes, and your instincts, your basic human instincts, built by thousands of years of evolution...
I would disagree.
...tell you to join them, to join the society. And so you do. And it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means that you got caught up. And that's why they only prosecute the ringleaders and the inciters of riots. They don't prosecute the everyday people because we have an understanding of human psychology that allows us to understand that individuals don't make decisions in a vacuum.
Okay, what you said before in regards to making them saying they're a bad person. Maybe no. I would, say they're maybe not a bad person, but I would disagree in saying that there's no fault in what they've done.
I wouldn't say there's no fault, but I would say their fault is
what they've done. Then you can blame them for what they've done. Then you should have the ability to say, these people were completely swept up in this. They allowed themselves to be swept up in this and totally lost control.
But that's not where the fault is. The fault is before allowing them to get in a situation where they could be swept up.
Their starting fault. Okay, this is also completely out of left field here. We are.
I think this is exactly our big question about how do people justify things to themselves.
We're not talking about Justice League at all. And this is a conversation for another day. But just because the ringleader coerced you into doing so doesn't mean that you should be able to get off scot-free for doing so.
You should be forgiven.
You shouldn't be forgiven.
That's the basic principle
I don't agree with that in the slightest.
That we followed for thousands of years.
Riot, especially with a riot. Because you know what you're doing. You very clearly have control over yourself. Just because an emotion is sweeping over you doesn't mean that... for a lot of people's instinct is very animalistic. If given the opportunity, we would go nuts. And that's kind of what it is. But that means that deep down, you can't control yourself in this situation. And you don't
it's a situation that human instincts render you unable to control yourself in. That's why after the riots in Baltimore...
I would disagree, because we
didn't have mass arrests.
We can clearly see mass number of people that do not go with the riots. We clearly see people, running and hiding and trying to help the others that are engaged in these acts. We clearly see, others attempting to dissuade this kind of action. We don't see everyone going together in this giant storm of a riot.
But that's exactly what happens in riots. That it's a giant storm of people. That
the
collective overwhelms the individual.
It's not like something that catches like wildfire.
It is that actually psychologists
oftentimes do describe
as
riots
wildfire.
as like wildfire.
I mean, I guess I can see where you're coming from, but it's not something that you have no control over.
But
it's not,
to a degree
it
is.
What?
To a degree it is.
To a degree, you can say it's inspiring and you have a lot of gripping emotions at the moment, but to another degree, you are always conscious of your actions. It's not like you're not on a drug.
It's
you
very
may be
similar.
on a high mentality, but you are very clearly understanding what you're doing. And after the act, after what you've done, I don't believe that you have any right to say, you were under the influence of this. You do have
a right to say that. That's why we only prosecute
you have a right to
leaders.
say that, maybe, but I don't think that should mean anything because of the fact that you should be held accountable. You let this happen.
But these are good people who have no danger of recidivism. Why should you punish them?
I should
the lesson
punish
is
them
learned.
Because they allowed themselves to get caught up in this shit.
But we just got into this. How
about this?
This is natural human instinct.
How about this? Instead of
no person is above it.
How about this? Instead of punishing them, we manually or forcibly provide them with mental and emotional aid. Because very clearly they are unable to see right and wrong.
But they are able to see right and wrong.
Clearly not.
It was suspended by basic human instincts that's caught in our DNA.
It's very clear that there are people that do not get swept up in this mentality, and it's very clear that those people are able to control themselves.
Those people are few and far between.
Other people are not able to control themselves, which is why they need help. They need emotional and
they don't
mental
need help. They're perfectly fine people
who
got caught up in a bad situation. And that has been
people
the
that
basic.
Get swept up in a. So you think that you'd get swept up in a riot?
I think you would too. Yeah.
I do not think I would get swept up in a riot. I don't think I would start storming. I would maybe join the riot, join like the petitioners, but as soon as people start setting fire to shit and chucking rocks, I'm out of there. There's no way in hell I'm joining that. It may take a while for me to notice what's going on. I'm dumb as shit, but that is besides the point. When things get violent...
Have you ever been at a really large rally?
I've been at rallies, yes. I've been at rallies, and I've been in fucking, what do you call them? Concerts that go into mosh pits.
That'd be another example of where the collective takes hold.
Swept up in violence.
What?
I mean, a mosh pit compared to a rally is a very different case, because a mosh pit is just nonsensical fun. It's absolute people just ramming into each other, and it's nonsense. And you can get swept up in that because everyone's enjoying themselves.
I mean, that's the thing about a mosh pit, though. Like sometimes people just
people get hurt.
Get hurt.
Yeah, no, people get hurt, but that's why in bad mosh pits, people get hurt. In good mosh pits, they have fucking people monitoring that shit. They have people making sure that no one dies. It's true. I mean, I don't know how many actually go through that thing, but I understand that bouncers for this kind of thing exist, and I understand that people... Have you ever heard that story of the woman that was pushed in the center of a mosh pit with her clothes ripped off?
No.
I don't know if it's true or not, but it's a really lovely story because some guy rips off her shirt and throws her in the center of the mosh pit, and everyone stops. Everyone stops. Someone comes in to give her a shirt, and then she points at the guy that shoved her, and they fucking throw him in the center of the mosh pit and just start. And it's like a really funny and hilarious story, and I would love it if it were true. But it's one of those that just seems so perfectly, it just syncs up perfectly together to make me believe that it's not really true.
I hope it's a story.
It's funny though.
Mob justice is never pretty.
No, definitely not. That's hangings, so that's lynchings.
Yeah. So,
but
continuing on.
Yeah.
Rioters deserve our sympathy.
No, they don't.
We're never going to agree on this.
I don't think so, no.
Just like Superman and Green Arrow.
I don't know. I feel like Superman would be, on another day, he would agree with it. Because, like, right now, he's pissed. He wants revenge. This is a side of Superman that we haven't really ever seen. Of him wanting to be justified of going in and doing wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, what he did with going in to get the question and how it was off the books, that was a covert mission. Well, it wasn't a covert mission. It was a no one has to get hurt mission. And he clearly wasn't trying to hurt anyone. He just wanted to get a question in there, and everyone threw themselves at him, and he had to punch him out. But he didn't intend to fight anyone on the way out. Very clearly. What he wanted now, what he wanted when he was coming back, he wanted to fight people.
Yeah. So.
Yes.
So they have a really great conversation about it. Green Arrow gives the especially beautiful speech I quoted.
Right.
And then the Flash backs him up with the Gandhi quote.
Right.
And we just end on Superman's frustrated face. We cut, however, to Lex Luthor, who's working on some robotics project. And then he walks over and presses a button.
That was another thing. I really enjoyed the fact that it was, well, not I enjoyed. It just shows that Lex Luthor has a bit more control than Amanda Waller of this entire arrangement, because Amanda Waller was calling him while he was busy, and I say that with air quotes because he's clearly working on something sinister.
No, I thought she kind of reasserted their equality there.
He's talking about, he's got this all under control. He knows what's going on, and he's typing away at his evil keyboard of evil.
Yeah.
Evil keyboard of evil.
So yeah. We cut back now to the Justice League, who is arguing about what to do when the giant space laser activates.
And everyone starts to freak the fuck out.
Martian Manhunter can't override it. We also learn his override code is 004.
Right,
cool.
which is fun to think about.
Also super easy to hack.
Right. Well, I feel like it might.
You just need to give a number between 1 and 7.
Well, maybe it's it was so simple, but that's not common knowledge. That's his.
But he says it out loud with all sorts of people around.
He says it out loud because they're in a goddamn dire situation.
No, that I get. But he was right to do it. But I bet there's some voice key and there's some more security features there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's like in the Star Trek, they give the voice passwords.
Right.
But I got to imagine it's calibrated to their voice, and I don't know.
Right. I imagine more so than anything, even if it was just a code, all pretense aside, he absolutely needed to stop this thing. And we can clearly see as he ripped apart the machinery, had to do it the old-fashioned way, right?
Yeah.
And
even that doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
So they go to Plan C, which is Superman manually stopping the laser from firing.
Oh my god. I love that immediate, it was like a switch. It was immediate. He knew exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah.
It was like...
The hero reemerged.
Yeah. He was bitter, and he was pissed, and he was mad. And then he comes out of it, and he's like, we have to stop this, He understood it was an emergency.
So there's some disagreement in the comics about whether or not Superman needs to breathe.
Oh, right.
So
there was also another instance where, remember how they were fighting, what's his name?
Amazo, the android?
Yeah, Amazo, and he's out there when he's got a little mask on.
Yeah, he's got a mask on. Every other time he was in space, he had a mask on.
Yeah.
But he just flew out.
He just doesn't give a shit.
In one of the comics, Superman learns to transcend his limits by...
just not giving a shit anymore.
Basically, the theory was that since he was raised around humans, and he has unconsciously taken on some of our weaknesses.
Which I believe is total
like breathing.
Horse shit.
So this is hints that maybe that is true in the DC animated universe because he's able to fly and be in space for a while without a suit.
Right. Here's my my thought on that is it could be generally that either the director just didn't give a shit and forgot about it, or two, he does need to breathe, and he launched himself out into space with absolutely no intention to care about his own safety, which is, I think, why he was floating around in space for so long. What?
said, but yeah, he's in space for a while until I think the name of the hero is Star. I'm not 100% sure what the name of the hero is.
I used to know what her name was, but I forgot.
I looked it up at one point. I could not find it. She's a background character a lot of times, but I don't think she ever gets a line.
Right. I think she works with the Teen Titans. I think.
It's possible, yeah.
Yeah.
So, continuing on, the giant phase laser. This is a nice play on the bomb scene.
Right.
That, they've got to stop the bomb. It's a ticking time bomb. And then in the end, they stop it. But
it still goes
in this time, they don't. It was a nice touch. So
I don't know. I loved the devastation. I mean, like, how fucked up is that, right?
Yeah.
But I loved it. I loved watching all the shit getting totaled.
Yeah.
It was insane. It was really scary.
Yeah, it was very scary.
Yeah, no, like, the devastation was real. Everything was just going. Oh my god! It like. Just seeing how much power these guys have with this cannon, watching the waves of concrete.
There's even a mushroom cloud.
Yeah.
And the earthquake's so big you see the ripples in the earth that remain.
Yeah.
That was a nice touch, the ripples in the earth. I could not find any evidence that that's how a space laser would work, but I like that they thought about how it might. I'm not sure that's how it would be. But I couldn't find any evidence that it wasn't. So that's my new theory of what would happen.
Right. I just like watching all the buildings were freaking out, watching all the people just stop and stare. There's no music. It's just the noise of the destruction.
Yeah.
And it's fucking fantastic.
It's really fantastic. This is a very well done scene. Okay. So, back to the breakdown. We see the idyllic park. It's destroyed. There's a mushroom cloud. And once again, power's out, just like in Darkheart, so they avoided that plot hole.
Right.
And they decide the Flash organizes rescue teams, which is a nice character. We've got a nice character from Flash this episode. He played the role of Peacemaker during the argument, and now he's the one who decides to do the rescue teams. It's nice.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed the fact that the Flash's character comes out in this, and we see how heroic he is. It's not in the sense, he tries to showboat and he tries to be a little bit better. He understands that there are people that need him. What was it that they said? That, oh god, damn it. I can't even remember. I should have written this down. He said something like, people need me and I can help, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was really, it was just so sweet and peaceful. It was, Flash truly understands what it means to be a hero. Almost out of all of them. They even have an entire episode where he pretty much that's what he does.
Oh my god, that's one of my favorite episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Flash Museum one.
Yeah.
God, that was a fantastic one. How they ended it was perfect.
Just a great episode. Can't wait till we get there. So the Justice...
Yes.
So the Justice League goes down. They open the doors manually. I think it's like Supergirl opens the doors.
Oh, yeah.
So...
they all clearly understand, they need action right now.
Now, the president calls. And he demands that the cannon goes because, small nuclear weapon, probably not a great word to describe it. Mm-hmm. Also, secretly putting it up, not a great idea. If they were to redo it, what they should probably have done was to orient it so it could only be fired into space. Which then it would have been more useful for Amazo's return.
Right.
And it also would have been useful for other things. Like Thanagarian invasions and not worrying people about the giant space laser pointed at them. Have you read about what happened after Sputnik? And that was just like a dinky little research probe.
Oh my God! Did you see the new the remastered version of of the Iron Giant?
No,
They made a big deal about Sputnik. Apparently, they had an entire thing about how the Iron Giant was a big Cold War scare. How they had thought it was from the Russians. Apparently, they had wanted to add this big part in the original. This was like the remastered version that I saw in the Alamo. It was crazy, but it was fantastic. Oh God, it brought me to tears. I couldn't handle it.
That's a great movie.
Oh my God. But I mean, I love the way that the president talks to Martian Manhunter in this, because we can clearly see that he's like he's on their side. He accepts them. He says, you've saved us countless time and time again, but this laser thing, we have to talk about this. This can't be. This isn't something that we can just let go.
Yeah.
I really, really, really approve of exactly what he was saying. It made perfect sense. Them discussing their plans, discussing them having so much power, and the president having to deal with this. I also love the direct connection. They knew exactly who was calling them.
Yeah, that was cool. I like how the president has 2 direct lines, one to Amanda Waller. Well, more than 2. But 2 of his direct lines. One of them goes to Amanda Waller, and one to John Jones.
Right.
John Jones? Yeah, that's what it is. So,
Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, no. The question was the pronunciation.
Right.
Because it's not John Jones. It's Jean Jones.
Jean Picard something.
No, that's the guy from Star Trek.
Don't worry about it, Jordan. Everything is fine.
So after he gets off the phone with Martian Manhunter, Amanda Waller calls. Tells the president there's no casualties. The Amanda Waller and the president have a nice rapport here.
Yes.
Pretty nice. So, they've clearly talked before. Amanda Waller explains the question saga from her angle, and the president really admirably calls for restraint, which Amanda Waller is not delighted for, but gotta respect her. She abides by it.
Yeah. I like how he said, he's weighing his options.
Yeah.
He needs to think about it first. I like how, because I have, in all this shit that we have to deal with, there are people that will make decisions based entirely on fear. And that's, very clearly not the way to go. He takes his time to think about it. We're really playing it out that the president in this situation is at least somewhat smart. Who do you think they were referencing? Like,
he really reminded me of John Kerry.
John Kerry?
That's who he reminded me of. And this was right after Bush beat Kerry. I don't know. That's who he reminded me of.
I don't know. I felt like his voice was a combination of Bush and Clinton.
Yeah, there was some of that.
It was an odd.
They have a lot of Bush references in this, because in Hawk and Dove they make so many references to Bush. They've had at least 2 scenes where a elementary school class has a picture of George Bush in it.
Yep.
So yeah.
I was there.
So
I was there.
So the Justice League arrives on Earth and they start helping. It's a nice moment, you see their powers in action.
Yeah.
You see Gypsy and Vibe and Vixen and so many people.
And my favorite bit is the fact that no one's really talking.
Yeah.
They
got a job, they know how to do it.
Yeah. Everyone's just very, it's not that they're sullen. I mean, you could very clearly say that they are at the moment. This is something they would never want to have happen. This is not how, Justice League is supposed to act. We're not supposed to have to deal with the shit. We're not supposed to have to deal with, when shit hits the fan like this and it's our fault, is what I mean. But it's very somber. It's very somber, but it's endearing in a way. We see how this is their job, and we see how quickly they slip into it. They're doing it without a second thought. They're not trying. They didn't start immediately trying to dissuade any confusion, try to, stop any. They did that afterwards. They're not going to try and stop people from assuming they did a bad thing. They're going to help people because that's their job. Because people need their help, and they can.
Yeah. It's very yeoman-like.
It was a very powerful episode. Or it was a very powerful couple of moments, in all honesty.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was great. So it culminates with the Flash helping a family find their cat. And it's sweet. And it's a really nice moment until the EMT points out that the Justice League caused the earthquake.
Yep.
The people are shocked and they refuse the Justice League's help, going into the unsafe city rather than accept safety from the Justice League.
Right.
This is the very nadir of the Justice League.
Yeah.
G. Gordon Godfrey would love this.
Why?
Because he hates the Justice League.
Oh, right. Okay. I was confused for a second there. I was like, what are we talking about?
So Green Arrow is particularly crushed.
Yes.
He especially, more than all the other ones, considers himself a man of the people.
Oh, yeah.
And being rejected by the people therefore hurts him a lot more.
That what he says after that was, oh my god, that was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
What to say again? It was just like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore, or why I'm doing this.
I don't know what we're doing here anymore.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It was so sad. He just absolutely, he looked defeated. He looked like he really didn't know what he was doing anymore. Like, he couldn't find a reason to continue to be with the Justice League. If no one trusted him, like, what would be the point? And that was the saddest part of it. He looked like, out of everyone there, he looked like he was so defeated.
Yeah.
God. It was just,
Yeah.
so much emotion in this episode. So many good parts. This really, really was a great wrap-up.
The wrap-up actually comes later.
What do you mean?
The Cadmus board is together waiting for the president's call. And then Amanda Waller gets impatient and orders Galatea to lead a force of Ultramen against the JLU.
Oh,
baby,
shit.
badass Amanda Waller is back.
Oh my god, that when it opened up and we see the entire, like, the rows upon rows of freaking people.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The Ultimate who gave the Justice League a good fight.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, and now we see so many, like, these clearly what had happened to them. We understand what's going on right now with, they are not the same Ultramen that we saw before. Their eyes are all, like, shining with fucking anger.
And Long Shadow's there.
Yeah. Such crazy foreshadowing. Oh my god, what a premonition.
Yeah.
Like, the next episode is shit's gonna really hit the fan. You thought it hit the fan before? No, you're wrong.
I like how they've ended the last both these episodes, the first two parts of this three-parter, on just cliffhangers to huge fights. I'm, like, excited to watch this fight next week.
Right.
It's gonna be fantastic. I kind of remember the fight scene, but it's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be baller as fuck.
Yeah. And
fucking red as fuck.
I'm mixed on how I feel about Amanda Waller losing patience, because she seems like someone who would play a longer game than this. She wouldn't get angry. But at the same time, the way she does it clearly shows that she was playing a longer game and she had this ready. So I guess you can call it that, especially since the people she's surrounding herself on are probably Justice League conspiracy theorists who are really against the Justice League. So you kind of fall into the mindset of those who surround you, which is why people talk about the worries about media concentration and people forming communities of like-minded individuals on the internet.
Right. I get that.
And all sorts of stuff like that.
That makes sense. I really, I agree with that. I just feel like, I don't know. this ending and this series of episodes, these 2 episodes right here, really, really hit home. Like, they absolutely struck such a chord. There was so much build-up, so much development, and so many good ideas being tossed around. To manage what they did in this amount of time, if they had managed to pump this all into one episode, I don't think it would have worked.
It wouldn't have worked.
No.
This Cadmus arc might be the best animated arc in superhero history.
Ever. That's a big check to cash there, man.
I mean, what's better? I mean, when you're talking about the greats of animated,
Superhero dumb.
You have Batman Red Hood. That's great, but I'd rather watch the Cadmus arc.
Really?
You have...
Yes.
Let's see. The great ones, you have Batman the Animated Series, but I like Justice League Unlimited more.
Right, Batman the Animated Series. What about Batman Brave and the Bold? Don't forget,
I like Batman the Brave and the Bold, but what arc did they have?
The part where Darkseid comes in.
They had the Darkseid arc. The Darkseid arc was good, but I still don't think it was as good as the Cadmus arc. It was funnier than the Cadmus arc. But never have I, in the superhero genre, really questioned who are the good guys and who are the bad guys, like you do in the Cadmus arc.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I really feel like there's no I don't think there's a contest, really. I feel like it's very clear that this is the superheroes are the good guy, and this is necessary, and they're just always being tricked. It's a lot of easy kid stuff to understand, but it does get into a little bit more philosophical notions because parents watch this too, and it's just something that if you were an adult and you had to think about it, you would understand that you would probably do the same thing. You would feel scared that, they have a gun pointed at us, and if they go rogue, there's nothing we can do about it.
I think this arc has shown us the dangers of self-reinforcing circles. Like, for instance, Superman goes, they're not part of the government. This is not the real government.
Right.
But he should know that it is known at the highest levels because Batman calls the phone that Amanda Waller has a direct connection to the president with.
I don't think
so. Clearly, the president knows that. The Justice League should all know that.
I don't think he knows that. I don't think.
You really think Batman kept that secret?
Yeah.
You think Batman would keep that secret? This isn't.
This
isn't Brother Batman.
Break into someone's home. Like, listen to how Superman talks about what happened and all the shit that underwent. I feel like Superman would have freaked out on Batman and be like, I don't think he would have been disgusted with it, but I think he would have really taken that seriously. Thinking that this is some fucked up shit, man. Are you serious in doing that? You just broke into someone's home and went to go see her while she was taking a shower. That's crazy.
He was respectful about the shower
thing. I feel like he would not have told.
I don't think he would have told Superman about the break-in thing, but I think he would have told Superman about the president knowing about Cadmus. He and Batman are very close in this universe.
I don't know. It just seems a bit different. It feels like
I think there's no way Superman didn't know that, but he's ignoring that information because it doesn't benefit him.
It feels like everyone keeps their secrets on this team. Like, they really, really, truly do.
Okay, so I don't think... I don't think Martian Manhunter really has any secrets. I don't think Wonder Woman really has any secrets.
I feel like Wonder Woman can have secrets.
Well, she had that violent streak, but she got over it in a good piece of character development. She didn't tell
anyone else about what was going on with when she was going to go and stop Hades. Or not Hades.
That was different. That didn't really concern any of them.
How is that different? She didn't want it. That was her responsibility. She didn't want to tell anyone else about it because that was her mission. She didn't want... That's still her keeping a secret. How is that any different?
Because it was just a temporary thing, and there's no evidence that she didn't tell people afterwards.
Not that she didn't tell people afterwards, because of the fact that it was, everything was resolved.
And, you know...
Everything was resolved, so of course, it's so super easy to say everything's okay after that. But when she needed the help, she didn't tell anyone. She didn't tell anyone where she was going. She didn't tell anyone what she was doing. She snuck into goddamn what's-her-face's room. Hawk Girl's. She snuck into Hawk Girl's room to steal her shit. She was keeping mad secrets.
I don't think that was a mad secret. I think that she needed something, so she went to take it. And
and she didn't tell anyone.
I think that was fine because it didn't really concern the rest of the league. We know from other circumstances that the whole league was getting briefings on Cadmus.
I don't think so. I feel like Cadmus in itself is like a top tier league kind of thing. Maybe them, you know. I wouldn't.
No. Only the original 7 are observing them.
Yeah.
But Superman's an original 7. He's getting briefings.
I don't know. I feel like Bruce talks to Superman as if he's trying to help out a friend, not as if like it's a big covert operation. And that's what I think he knows. He keeps secrets from him because he doesn't want Superman to go down that path. Like, he himself understands that it's scary. If Superman were to do the things that he does, if Superman were to go and do all that shit that Batman would do, how terrifying that would look. I feel like Batman is one of the people that knows more than anyone that he doesn't want Superman to understand, you know, that this is something that's happened. This is a thing that they've done. They've gone and snuck around in places they shouldn't have, taking things that didn't belong to them. I feel like Batman would definitely keep this to himself. He would threaten Amanda Waller, and he would keep this to himself. Yeah. I don't know. You don't believe me, that's fine. But it 100% seems like that is the case with these certain things, you know? Don't you know?
Yeah. Perhaps. But, I think the Justice League has become a bit insular, is what we're supposed to get out of this.
Insular?
Yeah, that they're not listening to their critics. That so far that even Lois Lane has to criticize them.
Right.
To get them to see sense.
Maybe they're finally coming down from the high but refuse to believe it.
Yeah, I think they need to review their actions. So, I think we're not going to put it on the list again because we're going to do the 3-parter.
Oh.
So
I don't know. I feel like this was really just a 2-parter, although the next episode will continue the series. I don't know. I feel like we could really judge this as the 2 on its own, but if that's what you want to do, I'm totally fine with that. Because, like, I mean, this story in itself is just, so good.
Yeah, this was very good. I think this is going to end up very high.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, sorry. It's my mistake. This is a 4-part. I said 3-part several times, but it's a 4-part.
Is it?
Yeah.
I exploded. Excuse me.
Yeah.
How dare I? But still, I get what you mean. It's fucked up, man. Shit's crazy. Everything, bad crap's going down. Lex Luthor firing goddamn lasers at everything. Do you think people died?
In there? People definitely died. I mean, in the Cadmus facility, no one died.
Yeah, right.
But people near the explosion, even if it wasn't an abandoned warehouse,
oh yeah, people
that Cadmus bought out everyone within a couple hundred feet.
People were swept up in this thing, and
yeah.
It was nuts.
Buildings collapsed. There was no way people didn't die.
They didn't really show... I mean, they showed a lot of people coming out of the wreckage, though. So I feel like they could have really, done the whole mamby-pamby, everyone's okay thing. But, I mean, with so much untold wreckage, you gotta assume people did not come out of that alive.
I think it was pretty bad, yeah.
Like, that was some megaton warhead shit.
You're right.
He's right. There was some megaton warhead shit.
Yeah. Alright. Okay.
Yes.
So, any last words?
Oh my god. Holy shit.
This episode's really good and we have 2 more.
Yeah. This is almost over. We're reaching, like, the culmination here, man.
Yep, we're reaching the end of Season 2.
The end of days.
Yep.
And then we can get to Season 3!
Season 3!
Oh my god, Season 3 gets nuts.
So cartoons have a tendency to have a really good Season 1 and 2 and a bad Season 3.
Right.
Now, I don't remember that, but we're going to have to see if that's true.
Yeah, I have not
what is it,
seen
Metabots, Beyblade, all the cartoons when we were kids.
Metabots.
That was a bad Season 3. It got decent towards the end. But, ooh, there were some bad moments.
I don't know. I do not remember nearly as much, so I couldn't say.
I rewatched all of Metabots Season 3 on a dare. It was not good. I was angry at him.
Everything I've done.
So yeah, Metabots though, underrated show. Holds up pretty well.
Holds up pretty well. I don't know, I haven't seen it in forever. The last thing I saw was... I don't know, there was like a new version of the Metabots there.
Yeah, that was Season 3.
Yeah, oh, okay, yeah. And I just had no idea what was going on.
They remade Beyblade. They should remake Metabots.
Oh, you think so?
Yes. It was a good show. Metabee was a good character.
Metabee!
Metabots.
Oh my god, I loved Metabee. You know what they should make a remake of? Fighting Foodons.
Okay, there are shows that have held up and shows that have not, and Fighting Foodon has not held up.
Shut your mouth! Fighting Foodons is fantastic!
Like, I went through a thing where I rewatched my childhood cartoons.
Fried Ricer!
Okay,
Fried Ricer.
try and sit through an episode of Fried Ricer. It's really bad. Like, it's not good. I have very fond memories of Fighting Foodons. And it still has a fantastic theme song. But it's not great.
I'm going to blindly follow nostalgia and keep going with it.
Okay.
Alright. But did you end, by the way?
No, we're still going.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Now, you're my undying love affair with this.
Yes, so stay beautiful, people, and cartoons are awesome.
Cartoons are awesome. Watch Steven Universe, because that's some good shit right there.
Okay. Watch Steven Universe, our final words.